One. Hello, welcome. My name is Bryce Tubbs. Today with me is Randy McNeely. I'm very excited for this because he is known as the Kindness Giver. He is the author of the Kindness Giver's Formula, which is a 4 simple steps for making a transformational difference for good, and a simple 4-step formula for ingraining the habit of daily intentional kindness that, well, when implemented, it's going to transform and change the world. I'm really glad that you're on today, Randy. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Bryce. I really appreciate you taking the time to reach out to me and give me the opportunity to talk with you.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like me to add to the introduction? Because I know you've done a lot of really cool stuff, and I don't want to disrespect you by not doing the full title.
You're fine. I'm an author and speaker, and I'm the founder of an organization called Kindness Hunters International, which through which I'm the executive producer for a reality TV show called The Kindness Hunters.
Hmm.
So
That's really cool, actually.
we'll
So
talk about that more, maybe.
yeah, we'll definitely we have to now that you talked about it. So what was life like before you started becoming an author and started all this like television stuff?
Oh, it's interesting. I've been in the cybersecurity world for 20 years. I've been an information security officer. I've been doing cybersecurity consulting, particularly for healthcare organizations, working with HIPAA, the security rule and the privacy rule. And I got an itchy nose, sorry. Been doing that for a long time. I love working with people. I love people. I love interacting with people. I love being around people. I love helping people, helping organizations to succeed, in those areas that I have expertise in the cybersecurity world. But there's an interesting conundrum when you're the information security guy or the cybersecurity guy doing all the risk assessments and risk management, because you're the guy that everybody loves to hate. nobody when people see the security guy coming, if they know you're coming to talk to them, they're like, oh man, what happened now? So I've always had this desire to be doing something different where I could actually make a personal impact on people's lives.
Okay.
And there's so many different things going on in our country. You see, we hear a lot about climate change, right? Hear about climate change all the time, physical climate change, what's going on. And that's an important thing to talk about. What we don't talk about, which is going on all around us, is what I call societal climate change, where, you've got light, hope, love, unity, peace. Those things are being eroded at an exponential rate and displaced by darkness, by doubt, by despair, by hate, contention, and those kind of things. And you see it's readily visible. Just look at the news. 24/7, 365, buffet of downer fodder a lot of the time. You see that a division that's being caused in our nation with politics. You see all the multiple things that are happening. And so that, my life before was in the cybersecurity arena, and those things they just talked about inspired me to change, to focus on a message of kindness as a means of combating those things, a means of restoring light, love, hope, unity, and peace, because our world desperately needs it. And so that's where I was before, and where I'm headed now is a total different direction.
Well, I mean, I guess you're protecting people from, so before it was cybersecurity, now it could be like, spiritual, emotional, kind of mental security, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you really think about it, right? Protecting them from all those things, teach them how to protect from themselves. What do you think is causing, like you mentioned, doubt, right? So a lot of people, kind of doubt themselves nowadays. And I know like the media, but the media's been going on for a long time. What are some like less in your face kind of things that cause people to doubt themselves?
It's interesting. We still, I don't know how you quite get away from the in-your-faceness. And the reason I say that, we live in the digital age, right?
Hmm.
And we got social media all over the place. You got LinkedIn. We got what we're doing here, podcasts. We got, um, well, I guess not necessarily the podcast, but you got Facebook. You've got YouTube. You've got all these different means and avenues for people to express themselves.
Hmm.
In a lot of those arenas, people express themselves behind anonymous user, not necessarily anonymous, but they
Hmm.
have usernames that are not necessarily their own and things. We've given a platform for the spewing of vitriol and hate and sarcasm and meanness in a way that has never been possible in the past.
Hmm.
And we have so there's so many avenues of entry for negativity, so many more than we've ever had. That's what when you hear people when you hear about people comparing themselves or people being mean to each other on social media and stuff, that's what's causing a lot of people to doubt themselves. They hear a constant stream of not so nice things.
Uh, oh,
And
interesting.
so so when you get in that situation, I mean, one of the things I talk about in my book is kindness begins with us.
Hmm.
So we have to start, we can't, we live in an interesting time when so many other people are constantly putting those outside them down,
Hmm.
that we have to be really self-aware. That's where for mental happiness, mental awareness, mindfulness, and those things is reminding ourselves, it doesn't matter what other people might say. Every one of us is a human being, and every one of us has value. Everybody has their own unique talents and abilities, and everybody has the capacity to make a difference. That
Hmm.
it make a difference for good. And I don't care if you're handicapped or whatever. Everybody has value and brings value. And so that if someone is doubting themselves, I invite them to remind themselves that you have to you're unique, you're important, you have value, and be kind to yourself in the way you talk to yourself, because you spend 100% of your time with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I think before we got on, when I asked that question, I was thinking on a line, but that was interesting that you talked about because I don't really like notice a lot of like negative comments or anything like that. That's why it's just so funny that you mentioned that. It's like, wow, that actually is true. And then we were talking about like algorithms of like social media before we got on. And depending on what videos you click on, right? So if you click on one negative video, then over time your feed starts to send more of like videos that are similar to what you clicked on in the past, right? So for
Yeah,
example, if someone clicks on one of Bryce's videos on YouTube, right, they might see another one of Bryce's video a couple days from now. If they click on it again, they're going to see two of Bryce's videos, and then pretty soon it's going to be just a wall full of Bryce, right? But kind of transferring that over to negative stuff, now they clicked on something negative on accident. Maybe like they like hit like clicked on something on accident, right? Or an ad came up. And now they're gonna be bombarded with all that, and they're gonna see negative comments. Wow, that's insidious. That's crazy.
yeah. Well, and it's interesting, especially like on a platform like LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of negative comments,
Mm.
but I read about other people who are having, interesting challenges with bullies, with people who are not saying things that are not so kind, that are
Uh,
continually. And I've been fortunate enough; I haven't had that issue. But the reality is, it shouldn't exist. I mean, okay, human nature, things like that do exist, right? But the hope would be that we could, that organizations like Microsoft, who own LinkedIn, and
mhm.
other organizations that own the Facebook platforms, would have a very vigorous a method for being able to take care of those things. And
Yeah.
I think there's still a long way to go
Uh,
in parsing out the toxicity, if you will.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, like for YouTube, right? They're starting to like hide comments that have certain words in them that are negative. And then
Yeah,
for LinkedIn, I have noticed that too, that you don't really see as many negative comments on LinkedIn. I think that's because like you create your network, right? So it's kind of like So it's like if someone leaves like a negative comment, you're just like unfriend, unfollow.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've got tools that you can use. It's interesting. I really try hard. I want to be kind to everybody, and sometimes I think people, when you say you're the kindness giver, or you say you're trying to be kind, some people want to take advantage of that because they see kindness as weakness.
Mm,
And you know, I've been a security guy for a long time, so the security guy in me comes out every time I get connection requests. I don't automatically accept them all. I don't automatically accept them because I take a look at people's profiles. Unfortunately there's a lot of fakes on LinkedIn, and there's a lot of, you know, there's way, you know, I look at people, if somebody's got like 20,000 followers and they've made no posts, or very few posts,
mm.
and then you go and you look at their activity and it's all like, or, and then it's like one word, great, or wonderful, or stuff like that. I don't, I instantly ignore those. And
Interesting.
I will report them. In that case, I will report them as probably a fake account, and I will block them.
Mm. I'm about to say, yeah, my account is probably a ghost town. All I have is like well, not necessarily. I don't really like interact with a lot of people's posts anymore. Like
Yeah,
that's always been something that's like so hard for me because it's like, you know, when you're constantly moving, constantly trying to move forward, it's just like LinkedIn can kind of be overwhelming. We had a post on the other day. It had about 135 comments we had to, you know, that we got the opportunity to respond to. So that's 135, you know, new people that I got to basically talk to and interact with. So it was kind of interesting, you know.
yeah.
Um, very interesting. But
Well,
you know, wait, what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you another question, but I want to hear what you want to say.
I was going to say, you know, coming pulling back to the kindness subject, when you're trying to, you know, interact with people and things, it's interesting trying to find the balance of being kind to myself, using my time wisely, and being able to accomplish the things I need to accomplish, and yet at the same time not making people feel like I'm just ignoring them, or
Yeah.
I don't care to interact with them, or other things like that. And so, you know, I see these guys that have 100,000 followers, or 200,000, or 500,000, or whatever, and I'm like, I have no idea how they keep up with how they're able to. I mean, you know, where they say they try to interact with everybody, there's no way.
Uh,
I don't know how you can interact with 500,000 people, or
I'll tell you a trick about that after we get done. One of
yeah,
the things I work with my clients with to actually be able to manage that easier, right?
yeah,
Because at the you have to be able to kind of give preference to which ones are like the most deepest and who's trying to make the most effort, right? Because some people they'll leave like you were saying the one. I had a person who likes every single one of my videos, like
yeah, yeah.
a million times. Like that's a lot, man. I'm like, did you watch him?
You know, I get people that, you know, all of a sudden, I mean, I'll have these big spurts of notifications come in, and like 65 notifications, and I'll go through and I'll see that somebody liked
Yeah.
everything, everything I've done. They've gone through and like, you know. So yeah, I can relate to that.
Which I mean, that's not a bad thing because it's boosting my engagement. Whenever I get a like, it shows it to about I think it's like 200 or 300 more people. So I'm like, okay, great. My message just got you know expanded to someone else. So you know that's always fun to have. But it's
Anyway,
interesting. You know, so what's your vision for you know your life?
my vision for my life, honestly, my biggest, most hairy, audacious goal is to get the kindness centers on the air.
Mhm.
I've got a sizzle reel. I've got a solid team with me, you know, people who have years of experience in the entertainment industry, that have Hollywood motion picture directing experience, producing experience, all those things. And we're all of one mind in the sense that we want to have an impact for good on the world, and give a voice to individuals and organizations that don't never necessarily or normally have a voice on TV. We want to take and interview people who have had, you know, interesting challenges, maybe some tragedies in their lives, and who have been able to triumph over those challenges, triumph over those tragedies, and share their stories. They're heartwarming, they're inspiring. People like to hear those kind of stories. We're not only going to share their stories, but we're going to showcase amazing organizations that they've created that are blessing other people's lives, that are helping other people in need. And we're going to have some fun doing it, because we're going to have some friendly service-based competition going on interspersed with those wonderful stories. It's a very positive, upbeat, fun platform. We've got some great hosts, and we're going to bring that to national TV, give people the opportunity to watch something that's positive and uplifting, upbeat, and we're going to engage our audience at the same time, and then give them the opportunity to be kindness givers and to be able to have some fun doing it. And so that's really what I want to do. Because the interesting thing is kindness has a global appeal. So we'll share the stories of organizations all over the United States in the first season. Mm-hmm. Once that first season is through, we're going to follow the survivor model. We're going to take it to other areas of the world, because we certainly don't have a corner on the market in organizations that do kind things here in the United States.
Yeah.
All over the place. So that's where I see myself, but I also see myself just, in inviting and inspiring other people to be kind at the individual level, at the organizational level, in neighborhoods, communities, speaking anywhere I can. I've got more books. I've got my book, my mini book, The Kindness Giver's Formula. I'm just holding it up right here. It's a short, little 35, 45-minute read. And
where can people find that?
They can find it on Amazon. You type in kindness givers, and it will automatically, it's the first one that will pop up.
Okay.
Nice. So you go to Amazon, and there's paperback and ebook versions, Kindle version. Okay. You can also find the Kindle or the ebook version on Barnes & Noble as well, barnesandnoble.com. So
yes. So I had a burning question. So like I don't know how many people are like familiar with the television world and that kind of entertainment world. What is an executive producer? What do you do as an executive producer?
As the executive producer, I oversee, ensuring that we've got the appropriate people lined up. We've got that the script has been laid out. I'm kind of like this, the CEO in charge, but at least that's what I understand. But I'll tell you the truth, Bryce, I'm learning. I'm growing into that executive producer role. But I basically oversee and make sure that all the production gets done appropriately, that you've got the everything lined up for the filming, that the crew is where they need to be when they need to be. But I really depend on the director for most of that. So, I'm the executive producer, but I'm kind of a gopher for the director. He says he needs stuff, he lets me know, and we take care of business that way.
That's cool. That's cool.
I still got a lot. I'm connected with a guy named Chris Lavoie, and he's probably, if he listens to this, he'll probably be spinning in his chair and think, "Man, Randy, you don't know anything." And I'm still learning. He's like, we've had a couple conversations, and I've got a lot to learn about the executive producer position. But that's the designation I've been given by my team as the executive producer. That's where my name will appear in the show, and I'm learning about that as I go. But I've given you the understanding that I have right now.
How did you get into the whole television space / business?
My partner and my director had produced a reality TV show, and they had an idea, and it's actually on the air right now. It's on the Dish. I believe it's on the Dish Network. I don't remember what channel it's on. It's called Cash Cowboys. Mm-hmm. It's a niche show for people who are interested in agriculture and land reclamation and stuff like that. And I had my idea for the Kindness Hunters. I reached out to my friend, Dr. Ilya Gorgoris, who is now my partner. And I talked to him about it, and I said, listen, you've produced, you've worked with getting a show on the air. Do you think this idea I have has any merit? And he really liked the idea, and he says, I'm going to talk to my director, the guy who, and his director is a guy named Elgin Cahill, wonderful man, who has, like I said, he's produced for Hollywood. He's created some, directed some feature-length films. And talked to him, and he loved the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so we formed a partnership. We created Kindness Hunters International, and we filmed a sizzle reel, to kind of, it's kind of like a movie trailer, for the episodes, what our show is going to be. So that, and now we're shopping, we've been in touch with Amazon. We've got some other organizations that are interested in potentially putting the show on the air once we get the season filmed. And so we're working really hard, pushing really hard to get investors right now. That's how I got into this space, is just by reaching out to these guys who are already in the space and saying, hey, I have this idea. Now, I'm probably, I will be the first to tell you, I know I'm naive about a lot of things when it comes to this world, but that's why I've got some great partners who have already been in this world, and they know the ropes. They know, who to talk to, what to do, how to film, how to do all the production and everything like that. So I'm the guy with the idea. I'm the guy that kind of oversees, but they do all and I do whatever they ask me to, because they're the ones with all the smarts.
That's interesting. That's a very big principle. I don't know if people watching just picked it up, right? Go to people who understand what they're doing, utilize their expertise, partner with them, offer value to them, and they'll keep helping you out. That's pretty cool.
Well, and that's I want to make sure I don't come across as a taker, because I try to give value wherever I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, I connect with people, and I've had people reaching out to me that believe in my idea, believe in what I'm trying to do, and they've been offering to help me. And I'm like, I've got to, I take advantage of those opportunities. Says, man, if somebody's willing to do that and be kind enough to give me some inspiration. I mean, Chris Lavoie is an amazing man, just a super good guy. And he's got his own reality TV shows that he's producing. And I mean, he's been in this business for 10 years. He's got, I can't remember, he's got 1 or 2 shows that are going to be on Amazon Prime this fall.
Oh, wow.
And, and he's been kind enough to talk with me a couple times on the phone, walk me through a bunch of stuff. And he said to me, I see you right now where I was 10 years ago, Randy. I was like, well, yeah, that's probably true, Chris, because I'm coming into this, getting my feet wet as a complete novice in this arena. That's why I'm surrounding myself with as many smart, good people that know what they're doing as I can. And I said, maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit. I'm not a complete novice. I mean, I've been around and seen, how things are done. I mean, I watch on Netflix and Amazon, but I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I see the shows and things like that, and see how they do various episodes. And there's a lot of different ways. They're very creative and talented people. And so I've got a lot to learn when it comes to that. But that's why I have the creative team around me that I do.
That's interesting. What's the next question for that?
Why Kindness Centers?
Okay, why Kindness Centers?
Because we want to hunt down the stories of interesting people. That's where we're out. Well, I want to make sure I say this right. We want to give the impression that we are willing to look for and share kindness in places that a lot of people don't go. You hear about all the big nonprofit organizations like Red Cross and United Way and all these other, UNICEF, they're the big organizations you hear about them all the time when there's disasters and things like that. We want to give a voice to the smaller organizations. We
Hmm.
want to go and find these organizations that are doing great things, that ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and give a voice to those smaller organizations so we can get closer to the roots, closer to the people, and inspire the people around those organizations to get involved with them.
Mm.
People that may not necessarily know about these organizations. Hey, I didn't know that was in my community. Maybe I can jump in and get involved. We want to let them talk about what their challenges are, what their needs are, and then give people in their
Yeah.
local area the opportunity to get involved. And so we're hunting out these stories in all these locations so that we can bring kindness to those areas, or give the people in those areas the opportunity to do more kindness, invite them to get more involved.
Yeah, I dropped my caps up to grab it, but I mean that actually is kind of cool, right? Because that then, well, they get some on air, television time, and then that means that more people are going to be able to actually like get involved and help them out. That's really cool, actually. You
Well,
know?
we're really trying hard
Uh,
to put ourselves in a position where we can have a big impact. There's a lot of these smaller organizations that really struggle with being able to get exposure.
yeah.
They don't have a lot of money for marketing and things like that. And so if we can take their picture to a wider screen, so to speak, then we can that's a way we can help them. We can give our audience some great, inspiring documentary type stories, as
Mm-hmm.
well as some wonderful, fun competition type stuff that people love to see.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, give these wonderful organizations a place and a voice to be able to get their message out and let people see what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah, that could be cool. Where can people find out more about you at?
They can go to www.randymcneely.com.
Okay. If you guys want to learn how to spell Randy McNeely, if you look right underneath his picture, um, it's Okay, so Randy. Last name is McNeely. Okay, guys. Thanks so much for appearing on today's episode. I really appreciate talking to you, Randy.
Well, I appreciate you, Bryce. I wondered, could I say just a little bit about the Kindness Givers formula?
Yeah.
You know, that book, the reason I was inspired to write it, and I really feel like I was inspired to write it. It's a short mini book. It's easy read, 45 minutes. But because of the time we live in, where we got so much, we hear about violence, we hear about shootings, we hear about a rise in suicide, we hear about all those things. The Kindness Givers formula is a simple way to counteract those things.
Mm.
4 simple steps that people can put into practice every day and start making a difference right where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Each day, get up and determine to be a kindness giver. Each day, take the time to think about and plan out where you're going to be. Think about and plan out ways that you might be able to give kindness, who you're going to be with, where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing. And then look for and act on ways to be kind, on opportunities. As you're going about your day, put your kindness antennas up, look for opportunities and act on them as they come,
Mm-hmm.
and invite and encourage other people to do the same thing. By giving a platform, by let me rephrase that, by taking the time to do the small things, we can make a difference every day. We can think about what would happen if we had thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people getting up every day and saying, I'm going to be a kindness giver today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make a difference in the world because I'm going to go out and look for ways to be kind, and I'm going to give them. Individually, it may not seem like much, but collectively, it can be huge.
Mm-hmm.
I just throw that out there. I appreciate you having me on today, Bryce.
Can you say the steps real quick one more time? So you said you wake up and you
Determined to be a kindness giver.
uh-huh. Next
Then
is
think of and plan ways to be a kindness giver. You think about who you're going to be with, what you're going to be doing, all that stuff. Then you look for and act on opportunities to give kindness or to be a kindness giver. And the final step is to invite and encourage other people to do the same thing.
That's
It's
funny.
simple.
Yeah.
It's a simple four-step process, but you know what? That's the foundation for what I call the economics of kindness cycle.
Uh,
You know, you as an individual, you can apply the kindness givers formula as an individual. You can apply it as a family. You can apply it in a neighborhood. You can apply it in a community and organizations. It can be applied at the national level.
mhm.
And because people, if people will take the time to look for and give kindness, the more time we spend looking for that and striving to give that, the less time we have to be mean,
Yeah.
less time we have to do unkind things and to do things that are negative. We can, if we're focusing on the positive, our life changes and the world, we can change the world around us with it.
Mhm. That's funny. That's the reason why I said to repeat. I was like, oh, interesting. We talk about a similar principle of like gratitude and visualizations. You wake up in the beginning of the day
Yeah,
thinking about all the things you're grateful for. Then you visualize what's going to go right in your day that single day. And then while you're out, you're actively looking for, what is going to come into my life that is going to succeed or confirm what I was already believing, and then
yeah.
before you do it. So that's interesting. That's really cool. I think you're spot on then. You know.
Well, and something interesting has happened in my own life as I've really, if I'm going to write the book and I'm going to call myself the kindness giver, I guess I better be following the formula, right?
Yeah.
I really try hard to. Am I perfect? No, but I do take the time. Every day when I get up, I sit and think, okay, I am the kindness giver. Sometimes I go through what I call the Lightning McQueen uh, mode. I go into that. You remember Lightning McQueen from Cars? He's
Yeah.
back of his little diesel. I am speed.
Uh,
I eat other cars for lunch or breakfast, whatever. I am speed. I am lightning. And I'll sit there and think, I am the kindness giver. I give kindness. I look for kindness. I share kindness. I invite kindness. I'm the kindness giver.
mhm,
Do I do that every day? No, I don't necessarily do that, but to change things up. But every day I do get up and think, okay, what can I do to be the kindness giver today? And I
mhm,
take the time to follow the formula. I think about who I'm going to be with, where I'm going to be, what I'm going to be doing, and and then I go from there.
mhm,
And just one case in point. Bryce, I really appreciate you having me on the show. That was a simple thing that I just said, not, and that's just an example. But
mhm.
by being thankful, by showing gratitude,
Yeah.
that's the way to give kindness.
Yeah.
When we show gratitude to other people, when we show gratitude, if we're religious, if we show gratitude to God, or if we're not religious, however we show gratitude to people around us, we're giving away kindness.
Mm.
When we say, when we say thank you, when we smile, when we say nice things, and it's not just saying them to be saying them, it's because we mean it.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, so there's so much negativity out there. We don't have to settle for that, though. We can settle it. We can all be trying to make a difference by just being nice, by being
Yeah.
kind and good. See, and I can tell, just with having talked to you, you've got kindness in your wheelhouse.
Mhm. I'm very very glad that you said that. Yeah.
Well, you're welcome, because I can see, I can see it in your posts that I've seen. You care about helping people. You care
Mhm.
about lifting people and building people. And so right there, you've got the label or the mark of a kindness giver. So
Excellent. If you guys want to, learn more about, the principles of success, like you were saying, the reason why he's successful is because he's actively implementing structures and formulas on his day-to-day life. It goes further than kindness is one of the areas that he's doing, but I'm sure that if you were to study him and look at the rest of his day, there's a lot of little things that he's doing that is allowing him to, be more successful and to reach his goals, right? If you guys want to learn a little bit more about how to do that for yourselves, I recommend you go check out the link in the description below, which is a link to our group called, or my group called, Uncapped Growth Strategies. Inside will give you everything that you need to start moving forward towards the life I believe you deserve. Whether that is, learning from interviews of people, he's a TV producer, whether you want to go learn from a 7-figure entrepreneur, whether you want to learn from entrepreneurs who are successful, whatever the case might be, I recommend you go check out that link in the description below so you can start moving towards your goals. Thanks once more, Randy. I really appreciate your time today and appreciate you being on the show.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you, Bryce. Thanks for having me on.
Excellent. So, I just want to leave you with a quote, just the people watching. Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues, right? Inside the group, we talk about all these different things. We have all these different resources for you to be able to start moving forward and actually get successful. It would be a shame for you to actually miss out on those because you waited a little bit longer. You wanted to put off till tomorrow. So don't let that be you. Go and get these crumbs. Have a great day, guys. And we're done recording in 3, 2, and 1.